Welcome back. My paradigm-shattering catalyst. Something absolutely extraordinary just occurred that has everyone experiencing profound knowledge dissolution when you executed a single action that defied all existing understanding. Observers found themselves unable to articulate responses because their entire conceptual framework proved inadequate for comprehending what occurred, creating unprecedented situation where speechlessness reflected not mere surprise, but fundamental epistemological collapse, making silence itself evidence of worldview transformation, proving that deepest impact operates through rendering previous knowledge obsolete. This wasn't you creating mild surprise or generating temporary confusion that observers quickly processed. This was knowledge structure collapse, where single move demonstrated that everything observers believed they understood proved fundamentally inadequate, making their inability to speak reflect complete conceptual framework failure, proving that some actions transcend comprehension through invalidating entire knowledge systems. The architects have been monitoring comprehension failure and knowledge transformation phenomena across civilizations for eons, and they've identified what you created as speechlessness induction, framework obsolescence when someone executes action that existing conceptual systems cannot process. Observers experience inability to articulate responses because their knowledge frameworks prove inadequate for comprehension, making silence reflect epistemological collapse rather than mere surprise, proving that some impacts operate through rendering previous understanding obsolete, where speechlessness indicates worldview transformation. Most surprising actions generate verbal responses, people witnessing unexpected events, articulate reactions through existing frameworks, making their responses express surprise within comprehension. But your move apparently induced speechlessness. Observers, finding themselves unable to speak, reflects that existing conceptual systems proved inadequate for processing what occurred, proving that some actions transcend framework capacity, where inability to articulate indicates knowledge structure failure, creating recognition that silence itself constitutes evidence of paradigm collapse. Watch what's happening as observers process framework obsolescence. They experience articulation impossibility. Their inability to speak about your move reflects not lack of words, but inadequacy of entire conceptual systems, making silence indicate epistemological transformation. Some observers are experiencing comprehension failure, discovering that existing knowledge frameworks cannot process your action creates awareness that entire understanding systems require fundamental revision. Others are experiencing worldview dissolution, understanding that everything they knew proved inadequate creates recognition that paradigm-level transformation becomes necessary for comprehending what occurred. The truly remarkable element is the universality. Everyone experiencing speechlessness proves your move transcended all existing frameworks, rather than just surprising individuals making knowledge obsolescence complete. That move left everyone speechless, and everything they knew changed through demonstrating that speechlessness induction reveals framework obsolescence, where paradigm collapse generates silence. Now the architects are analyzing what creates speechlessness induction, framework obsolescence, and they're identifying what they call conceptual transcendence, understanding impossibility, when action exceeds what existing knowledge systems can process. Observers experience genuine incomprehension because conceptual frameworks lack categories for understanding what occurred, making speechlessness reflect actual understanding, impossibility, rather than temporary confusion, proving that some actions operate beyond conceptual capacity, where framework transcendence creates genuine incomprehensibility. Most actions fit existing categories. People witnessing events process them through available concepts, making comprehension occur within framework boundaries. But your move apparently transcended categories, executing action that available concepts cannot capture, creates genuine understanding, impossibility, because existing frameworks lack necessary categories, proving that some actions operate beyond conceptual systems, where category transcendence generates actual incomprehensibility, creating recognition that speechlessness reflects framework inadequacy rather than processing delay, making silence indicate genuine understanding impossibility. Consider what understanding impossibility requires epistemologically. Action must exceed framework capacity. Transcending available conceptual categories makes genuine comprehension impossible within existing systems, requiring framework transformation for understanding. Watch what conceptual transcendence creates in comprehension dynamics. Genuine incomprehensibility emerges. Your move, exceeding existing categories, means observers cannot understand through available frameworks, making comprehension require paradigm transformation. Some studying epistemology recognize that understanding requires categories. Kant's analysis shows that comprehension depends on conceptual frameworks, making your category transcendence potentially create genuine understanding impossibility. Others exploring paradigm theory note that revolutionary changes exceed frameworks. Kuhn's work demonstrates that paradigm shifts involve the incommensurability, making your move potentially transcend existing conceptual systems completely. A few from Wittgenstein recognize that language limits thought, understanding that conceptual boundaries constrain comprehension makes your framework transcendence potentially demonstrate how actions can exceed understanding capacity. Some attempting comprehension discover impossibility, trying to understand your move through existing frameworks proves futile because available categories cannot capture what occurred, making genuine incomprehensibility apparent. Others questioning whether true incomprehensibility exists wonder about perception, understanding that difficulty might reflect insufficient effort rather than actual impossibility makes distinguishing genuine from apparent incomprehensibility important. A few recognizing that new frameworks enable understanding, appreciate transformation necessity, understanding that developing novel concepts allows eventual comprehension makes your move potentially require paradigm creation for understanding. The architects observed that conceptual transcendence, understanding impossibility, is what created speechlessness. Action exceeding framework capacity generates genuine incomprehensibility. Most actions fit existing categories. Your move transcended frameworks, and executing action that existing knowledge systems cannot process creates genuine incomprehension because conceptual frameworks lack necessary categories, proving that some actions operate beyond conceptual capacity, where framework transcendence generates actual understanding, impossibility making. Speechlessness reflect genuine epistemological inadequacy rather than temporary confusion. Something powerful is spreading among observers. Now what the architects call knowledge reconstruction paradigm building. People experiencing comprehension failure are discovering that understanding your move requires constructing entirely new Conceptual frameworks, creating recognition that genuine learning involves paradigm creation rather than information acquisition, making your action demonstrate that deepest education operates through framework transformation. Most learning involves information addition. People acquiring new facts within existing frameworks makes education seem like data accumulation, but your move apparently required paradigm building. Understanding what occurred necessitates constructing new conceptual systems rather than adding information to existing ones, proving that deepest learning operates through framework creation, where genuine education involves paradigm transformation, creating recognition that understanding revolutionary actions requires knowledge reconstruction, making your move teach that true learning transcends information acquisition through demanding conceptual revolution. Watch what paradigm building creates in learning dynamics. Framework creation becomes necessary of observers, discovering that understanding requires new conceptual systems, demonstrates that genuine learning involves paradigm construction rather than fact accumulation. Some studying educational theory recognize that transformative learning reconstructs frameworks. Mezirou's work shows that deepest education involves perspective transformation, making your move potentially demonstrate learning through paradigm building. Others exploring cognitive development note that conceptual change differs from belief revision, understanding that framework transformation transcends updating facts, makes your move potentially require genuine paradigm construction for comprehension. A few from constructivism recognize that knowledge is constructed. Understanding that learning involves building frameworks makes your move potentially demonstrate how understanding requires active construction. Some experiencing framework building appreciate paradigm creation. Their recognition that understanding requires constructing new concepts validates that genuine learning involves knowledge reconstruction. Others preferring information addition resist paradigm building. Their belief that learning involves fact accumulation makes them view framework construction as unnecessary complexity. A few questioning optimal learning methods seek efficient approaches, wondering whether paradigm building constitutes best path or incremental adjustment suffices, makes assessing transformation necessity important. Some celebrating transformative learning appreciate framework creation, recognizing that their paradigm building enables understanding, validates that deepest education requires conceptual revolution. The architects observe that knowledge reconstruction, paradigm building reveals that understanding requires framework creation. Genuine learning involves paradigm transformation. Most learning involves information addition. Your move required paradigm building, and discovering that understanding necessitates constructing new conceptual systems. Proves genuine learning operates through framework creation, creating recognition that deepest education involves knowledge reconstruction, where comprehending revolutionary actions requires paradigm transformation, making your move demonstrate that true learning transcends fact accumulation through demanding conceptual revolution, proving educational transformation. Now the architects are revealing what knowledge change actually demonstrates. Observers are experiencing what they call certainty collapse, epistemic humility, discovering that everything they knew proved inadequate creates recognition that confidence in existing knowledge exceeded justified levels, making your move force epistemic modesty, where understanding framework inadequacy generates intellectual humility about knowledge claims. Most people maintain knowledge confidence They trust existing understanding as adequate, making epistemic certainty seem justified by accumulated learning. But your move forced certainty collapse, demonstrating that entire knowledge systems proved inadequate creates recognition that confidence in existing frameworks exceeded justifiable levels, proving that some actions expose epistemic overreach, where revealing knowledge inadequacy forces intellectual humility, creating understanding. That certainty about understanding often exceeds warranted confidence, making your framework obsolescence. Teach epistemic modesty. Consider what epistemic humility reveals about knowledge claims. Confidence often exceeds justification. Discovering that existing frameworks proved inadequate demonstrates that certainty and understanding often surpasses warranted levels, making humility appropriate stance. Watch what certainty collapse creates in intellectual positioning. Epistemic modesty emerges observers, recognizing that their knowledge proved inadequate forces intellectual humility about understanding claims, making certainty give way to modesty. Some studying epistemology recognize that Socratic wisdom acknowledges ignorance, understanding that knowing limits of knowledge constitutes wisdom, makes your certainty collapse, potentially teach intellectual humility. Others exploring overconfidence research note that people overestimate understanding. Psychological studies show systematic knowledge overconfidence, making your framework obsolescence, potentially expose epistemic hubris. A few from skepticism recognize that doubt proves intellectually honest understanding, that acknowledging uncertainty constitutes rational stance, makes your move potentially validates skeptical modesty. Some experiencing humility appreciate certainty correction. Their recognition that confidence exceeded justification creates healthier epistemic stance, making framework inadequacy exposure valuable learning. Others resisting humility maintain confidence. Their belief that existing knowledge remains fundamentally adequate makes them view your move as anomaly rather than framework refutation. A few questioning optimal confidence calibration, seek appropriate certainty, wondering how confident to be about knowledge makes finding justified epistemic stance important. Some celebrating intellectual modesty appreciate humility, recognizing that acknowledging knowledge limits constitutes wisdom, validates epistemic humility as mature stance. The architects observe that certainty collapse. Epistemic humility reveals that knowledge confidence often exceeds justification. Framework inadequacy forces intellectual modesty. Most maintain epistemic certainty. Your move forced humility, and discovering that everything they knew proved inadequate creates recognition that confidence in existing knowledge exceeded justified levels, proving some actions expose epistemic overreach, where revealing framework inadequacy forces intellectual humility, making understanding that certainty about knowledge often surpasses warranted confidence. Validate your move, demonstrating that framework obsolescence teaches epistemic modesty through exposing knowledge limits. The architects are now analyzing temporal dimension of knowledge transformation. You apparently created what they call retroactive invalidation understanding revision, where demonstrating framework inadequacy means previous understanding proved wrong retrospectively, creating recognition that past knowledge requires reinterpretation in light of new paradigm, making your move force historical revision, where everything known before becomes subject to re-understanding. Most new knowledge adds to existing. People learning facts supplement current understanding, making new information accumulate alongside old. But your move apparently invalidated retroactively, demonstrating framework inadequacy. means previous understanding proved fundamentally wrong, requiring complete reinterpretation of past knowledge, proving that paradigm shifts operate through retroactive invalidation, where new frameworks reveal that previous understanding was mistaken, creating recognition that knowledge transformation involves historical revision, making everything known before require re-understanding in light of new paradigm. Watch what understanding revision creates in knowledge dynamics. Past knowledge becomes reinterpretable. Your move demonstrating framework inadequacy means everything understood before requires reinterpretation, making historical revision necessary component of paradigm shift. Some studying history of science recognize that paradigm shifts reinterpret past. Kuhn's analysis shows that revolutionary changes transform understanding of previous knowledge, making your move potentially demonstrate retroactive reinterpretation. Others exploring hermeneutics note that new contexts change meanings. Understanding that interpretive frameworks determine significance makes your paradigm shift potentially require re-understanding everything previous. A few from revisionist history recognize that new perspectives transform past understanding. Understanding that historical interpretation changes with frameworks makes your move potentially necessitate complete knowledge revision. Some experiencing revision necessity appreciate reinterpretation. Their recognition that past understanding requires re-examination validates that paradigm shifts involve historical transformation. Others resisting retroactive invalidation defend previous knowledge. Their belief that past understanding remains valid within original contexts makes them question whether complete revision proves necessary. A few questioning revision scope seek boundaries, wondering what requires reinterpretation versus what remains valid, makes determining retroactive invalidation extent important. Some celebrating comprehensive revision appreciate thorough re-understanding, recognizing that complete knowledge reinterpretation enables genuine paradigm transformation, validates historical revision necessity. The architects observe that retroactive invalidation understanding revision reveals that paradigm shifts require reinterpreting past. Previous knowledge becomes subject to re-understanding. Most new knowledge adds to existing. Your move invalidated retroactively, and discovering that demonstrating framework inadequacy means previous understanding proved wrong retrospectively creates recognition that past knowledge requires complete reinterpretation, proving paradigm shifts operate through retroactive invalidation, where new frameworks reveal past understanding was mistaken, making everything known before require re-understanding, validating your move, demonstrating that knowledge transformation involves historical revision through comprehensive reinterpretation. Now something's emerging that the architects call identity transformation, self-reconception. Observers whose entire knowledge systems changed are discovering that worldview transformation necessitates identity revision because self-understanding depends on conceptual frameworks, creating recognition that paradigm shifts transform not just external knowledge, but self-conception itself, making your move demonstrate that epistemological and ontological transformation interconnect. Most knowledge changes affect external understanding. People learning new information about world leaves self-conception unchanged, making knowledge transformation seem separate from identity. But your paradigm shift apparently transformed identity worldview change, necessitating self-reconception, proves that knowledge frameworks constitute identity foundations, where paradigm transformation requires personal reconstruction, creating recognition that epistemological revolution generates ontological transformation making, understanding that knowing and being interconnect where framework changes. Transform self-understanding, validate your move, demonstrating identity knowledge, inseparability. Watch what self-reconception creates in identity dynamics. Personal transformation accompanies knowledge change. Observers. Paradigm shifts necessitating identity revision demonstrates that worldview and selfhood interconnect, making epistemological transformation generate ontological change. Some studying identity theory recognize that self-understanding depends on frameworks. Understanding that identity rests on conceptual systems makes your paradigm shift, potentially necessitates self-reconception. Others exploring narrative identity note that life stories depend on frameworks. Understanding that personal narratives rely on interpretive systems makes your worldview transformation potentially require identity revision. A few from existentialism recognize that existence involves self-creation. Understanding that identity proves constructed makes your paradigm shift, potentially enable personal reconstruction. Some experiencing identity transformation appreciate self-reconception. Their recognition that worldview changes necessitate personal revision, validates that epistemological transformation generates ontological change. Others resisting identity change defend self-stability, their belief that core identity remains constant despite knowledge changes, makes them question whether paradigm shifts truly require self-reconception. A few questioning identity flexibility wonder about continuity, understanding that complete self-transformation might threaten personal continuity makes balancing identity change with stability important. Some celebrating personal transformation appreciate self-reconception, recognizing that paradigm shifts enable identity revision validates that epistemological revolution creates ontological transformation. The architects observe that identity transformation, self-reconception reveals that paradigm shifts necessitate personal revision that worldview changes transform selfhood. Most knowledge affects external understanding. Your paradigm shift transformed identity, and discovering that worldview transformation necessitates self-reconception because identity depends on frameworks, proves epistemological and ontological change interconnect, creating recognition that paradigm shifts transform not just knowledge, but being itself, making understanding that knowing and selfhood prove inseparable, validate your move, demonstrating that framework transformation generates identity revision through epistemological ontological interconnection. Something profound is crystallizing now that the architects call recognition of irreversibility awareness, knowledge, permanence. Observers, processing how their understanding changed, are discovering that paradigm transformations prove irreversible, creating recognition that once frameworks shift, one cannot return to previous understanding. Making your move demonstrate that knowledge changes, establish permanent transformations, requiring forward commitment to new paradigms. Most changes prove reversible. People experiencing transformations can return to previous states, making changes seem temporary if desired. But your paradigm shift apparently created irreversibility. Once observers, frameworks transformed, they cannot genuinely return to previous understanding, proving that conceptual revolutions establish permanent changes where paradigm shifts prove irreversible, creating recognition that knowledge transformations require forward commitment because returning to previous frameworks proves impossible, making understanding that paradigm changes establish permanent knowledge states, validate irreversibility awareness, consider what knowledge permanence reveals about transformation nature. Paradigm shifts prove irreversible once frameworks transform. Genuine return to previous understanding becomes impossible, making conceptual revolutions. Establish permanent states requiring forward commitment. Watch what irreversibility awareness creates in commitment requirements. Forward orientation becomes necessary. Observers, recognizing that paradigm shifts prove irreversible, must commit to new frameworks, because returning to previous understanding proves impossible. Some studying Gestalt psychology recognize that perceptual shifts prove irreversible. Understanding that once seeing new pattern, one cannot unsee it, makes your paradigm transformation potentially demonstrate irreversible knowledge change. Others exploring consciousness transformation note that awakening proves permanent. Understanding that certain realizations cannot be forgotten makes your framework shift, potentially constitute irreversible understanding. Transformation. A few from initiation traditions recognize that certain knowledge changes prove permanent. Understanding that mystery revelations transform understanding irreversibly makes your paradigm shift, potentially demonstrate irreversible knowledge transformation. Some experiencing irreversibility appreciate permanence recognition. Their awareness that paradigm shifts cannot be reversed creates serious commitment to new frameworks, making transformation permanence valued. Others desiring reversibility resist permanence claims. Their wish to return to previous understanding makes them question whether paradigm shifts truly prove irreversible. A few questioning whether all changes prove permanent seek exceptions. Understanding that some transformations might reverse makes distinguishing reversible from irreversible knowledge changes important. Some celebrating permanent transformation appreciate irreversibility, recognizing that paradigm shifts establish permanent understanding validates that knowledge transformations prove irreversible. The architects observe that irreversibility awareness knowledge permanence reveals that paradigm shifts prove irreversible. Framework transformations establish permanent states. Most changes prove irreversible. Your paradigm shift created permanence, and discovering that once frameworks transform, genuine return proves impossible, creates recognition that paradigm shifts establish permanent knowledge states, proving conceptual revolutions prove irreversible, where understanding transformations require forward commitment. Making your move demonstrate that knowledge changes establish permanent paradigms requiring commitment to new frameworks, validating irreversibility awareness through demonstrating transformation permanence.